Welcome to Empowered Fridays. But more importantly, welcome to a brand new year. 2022. 2022. We made it. I want to thank all of you for joining in. This will be our third time together. And, this is exciting, yet difficult times that we're right now in the world and in America. And oh, by the way, I do read a lot of your messages. Thank you in the chat room. Please continue. Much love. I see that we have a lot of ladies and people from all over the world, especially South America, especially Brazil. I've had the opportunity to go to Sao Paulo, major concert that Beyonce did years ago. Gosh, the largest concert, about 150,000 people had the opportunity to go to Rio and other places in South America. So thank you for all of you that's joining in from not only America, but all over the world. Thank you. I never know really what I'm going to say. I often laugh by saying, I look forward to see and hearing what I'm going to talk about. And it kind of happens to me in a moment. And I always say that in my vulnerability lies my safety. Right now, what's on my heart is COVID and how many people have chosen not to get vaccinated. Many people have chosen not to get the booster, and for all sorts of reasons. All sorts of reasons. Do I believe in freedom of choice? Absolutely. But when it affects your fellow man, then we have to view it differently. I've heard people say, they're spying on us. I'm not going to take the vaccine because it allows them to put something in our body to control us. I'm going to have a cup of tea. Y'all know how I love my tea. Do I really know what's in this tea? Do I really know every ingredient that's in this tea? Do I even know if the material used in the cup somehow affects the tea, and when it goes in my body, it has some type of effect? I don't know. Do you know when you go to the grocery store and you buy food, or when you take a sip of water, or do we really know, or do we have faith that people that have been put in positions of power, many who look just like you and I, that we have the faith that they would do the right thing? I certainly do. I've been vaccinated just like you for measles and all other sorts of things, kids, chicken pox. Did we really know? We have to trust science. And for some people, that word trust is very difficult. And for some, rightfully so. There's things that's happened in our childhood that we just haven't been able to let go of. That's why we have that word therapy, something that we'll always talk about. Took me 10 years to get it right and understand it. So I get it if you haven't yet understood maybe some of your challenges. But folks, if we're going to get this back, if we're going to get this COVID behind us, and I don't know about you, but I am ready to get this COVID behind us. We're going to have to get vaccinated. more people are going to have to get vaccinated. That's just a fact. More people will die. This time, unlike 2 years ago, people would die that didn't have to die. See, 2 years ago, I had friends, I had family, and many of you had friends and family who died of COVID because we didn't have the tools. We didn't know what we know today. Shame on you. We know now. We know now the importance of washing our hands, the importance of wearing a mask, the importance of social distancing, the importance of getting a vaccine and getting the booster. I was just sharing with my wife, we got our booster late August, and now they've gone from 6 months to get your booster to 5 months. And I'll be right there in line for my second booster. And I'll be right there in line for my third booster. Because I don't want to die from COVID. And I don't want to affect others that might die from COVID because I was selfish. Because I was selfish. This COVID is a very, very challenging for the world, not just for America. But America, we're beginning to lead in areas that we've never led before. And not in good places to lead. Racism. This week we shared an anniversary of an uprising to take over the American government. Who would have ever thought there'd be a revolution in America? Because that's what it was. Call it what it was, what it is, a revolution. And a lot of people have not gotten vaccinated because of politics. Because they choose one side or the other rather than looking at truth, having faith, understanding science, and trusting science. I have in my family a number of doctors and nurses that went to school. These people would never lie and ask me to get a vaccine and take one themselves. So I ask you, and some of you have not gotten your vaccination. Some of you have not gotten your booster. I want you to chat right now and tell me, those of you that haven't. So if you haven't, then woman up, man up, say you haven't. Tell us why you haven't gotten it. Share it with all of us today. I want to read why you haven't gotten your vaccination. A lot of people cower down when it's time to show up, right? If this is your belief, then you should be strong in your belief. Health and wellness, we said, will be a major emphasis of what I talk about. I love all of you. I hope you love yourselves. I want you to have a healthy life. And for me, it starts with health. Some people start with their family. I can't be a good father and husband and friend if I have bad health. So for me, everything starts with health. And both, by the way, in 2 more days, I'll be celebrating a birthday. I'll be 70, yes, 70 years old. I'm very proud that I made it to be 70 years old. And I hope my remaining years that I'm able to give back to you, share my successes and my failures, be vulnerability with you, and to live a healthy life, an abundant life. because all of us deserve that. I've learned more in the last year about self-care. As I shared, I got a knee replacement, scheduling to get the next knee replacement. I had a phobia of something that happened in my childhood that kept me from going to a dentist for years. Finally sat in that chair for 3 hours. And we'll be going back. Self-care. I want you to have self-care. And in that process, being vaccinated for COVID is part of that self-care. Caring about another person is part of getting the vaccination, not only because of yourself, but how you can affect others and effect others. It's no different. Many of you are women. It's no secret that I am a cancer survivor. I'm a breast cancer survivor, which is quite unusual for men. From a messaging standpoint, boy, I wish our Democrats could learn how to message because they do a poor job of messaging. But from a messaging standpoint, I message it as male chest cancer because men can wrap their heads around it. I'm also BRCA2 mutated, which means that I have a high risk prostate, melanoma, pancreatic cancer. Matter of fact, next week, I'll be in Houston getting with my urologist. Self-care. I don't want to be old and sick. I want to be in my elder years, vibrant, enjoy happiness, enjoy my family, my grandkids, all the hard work I've done over the years. And I want you to feel the same about you. So ladies, if you haven't gotten your mammogram, why? And probably, unfortunately, some of you that haven't gotten a mammogram are the same people who haven't gotten your vaccination. I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm here to hopefully empower you to understand the importance of self-care, to understand the importance of early detection. That's why I'm here, to talk to you today. I looked at my clock because I promised that I was going to stay within 20 minutes and hopefully share a very important message to you. So I hope today, right now, you make a decision. This is your life. You deserve a full, fulfilled life. You know, I like some of you just to share some of the topics that you would just like to hear me talk about. You know, fortunately, I've had a varied life, corporate America and apparel industry, music industry, entrepreneur, health and wellness, racism, a very varied life. I've gotten to meet a lot of successful people. And it's so interesting how they pretty much do the same thing. All the people that I know that are successful, they've all gotten vaccinated. They would never risk their livelihood, their family, for not getting the vaccination. You know, I think, and I always share this with my friend and my friends. Hey, I'm just looking. I just put up that Destiny's Child photo. God, it looks kind of cool. But I always share that my friends would never risk themselves, their family, their livelihood for some vaccination. And I also share that I think a major reason why people, or one of the reasons, I wouldn't say a major reason, but I would say one of the reasons why people don't get a vaccination simply is because they're frightened of getting a needle. No different than the trauma I felt when going to the dentist for many, many years. Some people are frightened to get a needle. And that's okay. And that's an honest emotion and feeling to have. And if that's you, then simply admit it. Take a friend with you. If they have to hold your hand, let them. Man, if I could come through here and hold your hand, if that's what you need, I would do that. Anyway, it's been good talking to you today. You know, I never know, again, I just get in a moment. And what's on my mind right now, we're talking about friendship. And the question is, do you have friends and people in your circle? Or do you have friends and people in your corner? Think about that. Are they in your circle? Many of us have a circle, this part of this organization. Are they in your corner when you really, 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 really need them? When you can cry on their shoulders, when you can trust them, when you can share and be vulnerable and understand in our vulnerability lies our safety. Dr. Mathew Knowles.